Seventh Child Publishing presents Vote to Let God Prevail, Vote for Things That Work on Voters' Voices vlog, which is in the Voters' Voices vlog playlist on the Seventh Child Publishing YouTube channel. See links below for other places the video can be accessed. My name is Eileen Lentz, voter and proprietor of Seventh Child Publishing. I created the Voters' Voices vlog. This video answers the question, how do we vote to let God prevail? God wants us to be happy and successful in our lives. He wants us to learn to use our agency effectively to better the lives of those around us. He knows that means we need to develop our ability to do things that really work and throw out the things that do not work. Unfortunately, many of our current political and social leaders are doing things that do not work, and our society is being destroyed because of it. Considering the violence in our schools that fills the news, I am going to address some plans that do work in the hopes that we as voters will choose to vote for what works. After the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, Sean Spicer had a couple of experts on his show talking about our children receiving better protection in our schools. I synthesized 4 points from those interviews that we need to consider. First, we need to harden our school infrastructure from those and procedures to better protect our children. We need to come up with better emergency plans and make sure both the staff and the students have effective drills to practice often. Police and security officers must improve their procedures. The failures of Uvalde need to inform procedures going forward, especially the leaders who refuse to allow officers to go in to rescue the children. There needs to be well-trained adults who are armed on school property. If we wait until a crisis, we will have waited too long. We need to do things to change the character of our schools based on true principles. I worked in a school district in Pennsylvania that did just that. A new principal in the middle school started the whole thing as he gradually convinced teachers and students, as well as the parents and community leaders, to participate in an integrated character education program. The school went from being very challenging and disruptive to being one of the most well-behaved and successful schools in the country. The rest of the schools in the district soon adapted the same type of program at their level and according to their needs. I was part of developing the curriculum for the high school in the district. Each of the people involved, teachers, students, administration, and other staff members, became stronger and more effective. The schools became much safer in all aspects because everyone felt involved and valued in their community. When I moved to Utah, I was shocked to learn that the school district where I obtained a job as a special education teacher had the opposite paradigm than what I had experienced in Pennsylvania. Rather than a place that was centered on the child's needs and collaboration with the people in the child's life, we were required to teach to the test and follow the dictates of the people above our pay grade. The school was failing our students, parents, and teachers. I created a flowchart to explain the education system I developed to meet the needs that I saw lacking. I put the children on top of all priorities. I taught my students that they could become their own best teacher. If they knew the tricks behind it. Of course, these tricks are living by true or moral principles, which bring a happier and more productive life. The next level is the nurturing support of parents and teachers. All other levels are therefore nurturing support and not dictating. Just a little side note here, when I taught my students the lesson about becoming their own best teacher, their faces lit up like a Christmas tree. The many failures they had experienced in their lives had taught them that they could not learn very well. Now they knew that they had the power to change. That was choosing to live those true principles. One of those tricks to becoming your own best teacher is to develop an effective behavioral management plan. In our classroom, the students and I discussed how good teachers have good manners and what happens when a teacher has bad manners. We came up with 5 or 6 good manners that we wanted to work on in our classroom, and then 6 bad manners that we wanted to remove from our classroom. We would change these out as good manners became automatic. I had a chart on the board for each of the students, which I would mark each time they showed that good manner or that bad manner. If they had 3 marks on the good manners, they received special recognition for that day. If they had 3 marks on the bad manners, they had to fill out a form and make a plan for changing that behavior. This taught them that concept that changing behavior is the goal. They got positive recognition for good behavior, not bad behavior. Since this was a routine, less time was spent on discipline and lecturing. Each student also spent more time using good self-discipline. Bullying is a common factor in most of the school shootings that have happened over the last few decades. It was also a huge problem from the mental health of many of our communities. Let's extinguish the fire of bullies, not fan the flames and encourage more of it. I have 2 examples here that explain how more problems are created when administrators have made poor decisions about a bullying experience. The first is when a rescuer was suspended from school when he stopped the bully from doing harm to his victim. The rescuer was suspended even though he did nothing to hurt the bully, only threatening him if he continued to bully the victim. The principal commented, "Some students have good intentions of helping others, but the way they go about it can become a problem if it involves threats and escalate an incident." My comment: some administrators have good intentions of helping their students, but they go about it in a way that enables bullying and punishes those that make good choices that extinguish bullying behavior. Therefore, the administrator actually encourage bullying by becoming a bully themselves, since bullies often do not understand reasoning because they lack empathy for the victim. They often need threats of bodily harm to get them to slow down and think about their actions and how it is making more problems for themselves. After the bully has been halted, then they can go through an education process that helps them become more empathetic. That should be part of the consequences assigned to them by the administrator. The goal is to change behavior, not just to punish. A wise administrator would have pulled both the rescuer and the bully in to show support for the rescuer's action. The bully needs to know that their behavior will have no support from the school whatsoever. In a private conversation with the rescuer, the administrator could caution the rescuer about taking the situation too far, but still should support and praise the rescuer's altruistic behavior. Punishment of the rescuer is totally inappropriate because it sends the message of detachment of the administration from the overall care and welfare of the students. It says that the school has more concern about being politically correct or avoiding a lawsuit than in doing what is right by the student. The victim of bullying needs to know that the school stands by the rescuer so that they will know that they are valued by the school and will be protected. An example of how inappropriate actions by the school led to very serious consequences is the Jared High story. I have included his story in a book I wrote about suicide. His mother told me that her son had frequently been bullied by a certain person. When the school discovered the bullying, they brought in both the bully and the victim into the office. I was in disbelief when his mother told me that the administrator gave Jared the same punishment as the bully. How could someone think that this was a smart thing to do? This sent Jared into a spiral of negative emotion about himself. Even after changing schools, his deep depression ended in him taking his own life. It is very important that the victim understands deep that they are valued by the administration and other staff at the school. It would be good for the administrator to bring both the victim and rescuer in to allow the victim to thank the rescuer. And then they could discuss what the school will do to help the victim be safe in the school and the surrounding environment. The victim and the rescuer should be invited to participate in a proactive approach to stop bullying in the future. One of the most important plans that works is the family. The community that is full of strong families that love and care for each other is the best way to keep the community safe. They look out for each other and provide willing help to their neighbors who are in trouble of some kind. I grew up in a community like that. My parents would often take us along when they went to help their neighbors. Many other neighbors did the same thing with their families. I cherish the friendships that I had with people of all ages. School, church, and community activities bound us together in friendships that I had with people of all ages. We were also very welcoming to new people that moved into the community. When I go back to visit, even though many of my old friends have died, I still recognize their children and grandchildren and see the strong character they inherited. The school system would be wise to help strengthen the family. Unfortunately, there are many who seek to destroy the most important of institutions. A strong family is something that truly works. For those who struggle without a strong family, helping them to experience relationships of love and caring from another strong family can help them heal and develop goodness. Thank you for watching. Vote to let God prevail. Vote for things that work on Voters Voices vlog, which is in the Voters Voices vlog playlist on the Seventh Child Publishing YouTube channel. See links below for other places the video can be accessed, and please like, comment, and subscribe to the Seventh Child Publishing YouTube channel. Share on Facebook and your other social media to help spread this important message.